coolest kid on campus. For the suits he wore, his classmates called him Tweed. But his education at Morehouse helped to forge the intellect, the discipline, the compassion, the soul force that would transform America. It was here that he was introduced to the writings of Gandhi and Thoreau and the theory of civil disobedience. It was here that professors encouraged him to look past the world as it was and fight for the world as it should be. It was here at Morehouse, as Dr. King later wrote, where I realized that nobody was afraid, not even of some bad weather. I added on that part. I know it's wet out there. But Dr. Wilson told me y'all had a choice and decided to do it out here anyway. That's a Morehouse man talking. Now think about it. For black men in the 40s and the 50s, the threat of violence, the constant humiliations, large and small, the uncertainty that you could support a family, the gnawing doubts born of a Jim Crow culture that told you every day that somehow you were inferior, the temptation to shrink from the world, to accept your place, to avoid risks, to be afraid. That temptation was necessarily strong. And yet here, under the tutelage of men like Dr. Mays, young Martin learned to be unafraid. And he in turn taught others to be unafraid. And over time, he taught a nation to be unafraid. And over the last 50 years, thanks to the moral force of Dr. King and a Moses generation that overcame their fear and their cynicism and their despair, barriers have come tumbling down. New doors of opportunity have swung open. And laws and hearts and minds have been changed to the point where someone who looks just like you can somehow come to serve as president of these United States of America. So the history we share should give you hope. The future we share should give you hope. You're graduating into an improving job market. You're living in a time when advances in technology and communication put at your fingertips. Your generation is uniquely poised for success unlike any generation of African Americans that came before it. But that doesn't mean we don't have work. Because if we're honest with ourselves, we know that too few of our brothers have the opportunities that you've had here at Morehouse. In troubled neighborhoods all across this country, many of them heavily African American. Too few of our citizens have role models to guide them. Communities just a couple of miles from my house in Chicago. Communities just a couple of miles from here. There are places where jobs are still too scarce and wages are still too low, where schools are underfunded and violence is pervasive, where too many of our young men spend their youth not behind a desk in a classroom, but hanging out on the streets or brooding behind a jail cell. My job as president is to advocate for policies that generate more opportunity for everybody, policies that strengthen the middle class and give more people the chance to climb their way into the middle class, policies that create more good jobs and reduce poverty and educate more children and give more families the security of health care and protect more of our children from the horrors of gun violence. That's my job. Those are matters of public policy, and it is important for all of us, black, white, and brown, to advocate for an America where everybody's got a fair shot in life, not just some, not just a few. But along with collective responsibilities, we have individual responsibilities. There are some things as black men we can only do for ourselves. There are some things as Morehouse men that you are obliged to do for those still left behind. As Morehouse men, you now wield something even more powerful than the diploma you're about to collect, and that's the power of your example. So what I ask of you today is the same thing I ask of every graduating class I address. Use that power for something larger than yourself. Live up to President Mays' challenge. Be sensitive to the sufferings and the injustices of society, and be willing to accept responsibility for correcting those ills. I know that some of you came to Morehouse from communities where life was about keeping your head down and looking out for yourself. Maybe you feel like you escaped, and now you can take your degree and get that fancy job and the nice house and the nice car and never look back. And don't get me wrong, with all those student loans you've had to take out, I know you got to earn some money. With the doors open to you that your parents and grandparents could not even imagine, no one expects you to take a vow of poverty. But I will say it betrays a poverty of ambition if all you think about is what goods you can buy instead of what good you can do. So yes, go get that.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood, the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on the Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
2, 3, 4, 5. We live. Welcome to Hoodviewpolitics. We'll be going to a deep, detailed dive into politics from a hood point of view. I'm Rabbit Jones.
I'm Tony, the number one soul brother.
And welcome to HVP. Now, it's one thing everybody gotta understand, right? Is I think by now, you know, when you watch this podcast, you listen to this podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you consume this podcast, you know that everything we do is centered around our culture and how to uplift our culture. That's our podcast, you know what I'm saying, dog? So today, we're gonna change up a little bit, right? We know we do national politics a lot, you know, but we always stress the situation we have here in DC. So we think it'd be a good idea to bring on some people that's running for offices in the DC area, right? So today we're gonna tap into DC Ward 7. Now, for anybody who don't know Ward 7, born and raised, grandma 50 years, my other grandma 50 years. In fact, Nelly Road right now, up and down Southern Avenue, my grandmother, my father lived there for the last 25 years. Grew up in Northeast DC, over by Rhode Island Avenue. Broke my bones on Southern Avenue as I got older when I started trying to make money. So, and I lived in every part of DC. I was born and raised here, and I've been here since I've been alive. So therefore, you know, I had to keep moving around. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay in one spot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all over. I've been all over parts of DC, except for Northwest. That's the only part I have not touched. You touched that? Yep. I don't go up there. You know what I'm saying? Up there though. You know what I'm saying? No, but that's another story for another day. All right. But one thing I feel like I am DC. All right. So I just feel like doing this podcast on political area, right? I feel like we and number one soul brother, me and the number one soul brother, have to tap into our local areas and let you know what's going on there. The elections there too. Even though Trump, we on your ass too. Don't think we forgot about you. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, number one soul brother?
Ain't too much. Yeah, I can hear. More of the same, more of the same. See, like,
More of the same?
more of the same. Ain't shit changing. Like Groundhog Day. Wake up and it's the same thing all over again.
So tonight we got a special guest. Ward 7 candidate. And we appreciate him coming on too, because and it's open for anybody out here that feel like we biased or whatever that you're thinking right now. We're not. We looking for information just like you are. If you're living in Ward 7 right now, tune in. Because you want to listen to a candidate that's running for Ward 7, where you live at, and my family. You know what I'm saying, dog? So, and to me, we do this podcast to let everybody know how politics touch their life. Most black people don't even know politics touch their life directly. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we here mostly, you know what I'm saying, to show them how bills directly impact them, you know what I'm saying, and who in office impact them, you know what I'm saying, dog? So what we're gonna do now, without further ado, you know what I'm saying, dog, we're gonna bring up candidate for Ward 7. What is this? Hold on, my bad. One thing about Ward 7, right? There's a lot of issues with the housing, a lot of issues with crime, a lot of issues with you know, the streets. We're gonna talk to my man right there, but you know the streets itself, just the streets, cause more problems than other. Like if you go into Maryland, there's no potholes there. Like if you see a pothole in Maryland, it won't be there tomorrow.
No.
But if you go in DC, it's a pothole. Ward 7, exactly. It gets deeper. It ain't going nowhere. It gets deeper and deeper. Next time you hit that joint, you're gonna need a whole front end line. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the life we live. Oh, I didn't mean my girl was up there. But without further ado, we're gonna bring on my guest tonight. Well, I feel like have an uphill climb. You know what I'm saying, dog? I don't know if you feel the same way that I do, No One Soul Brother. I feel like it's an uphill climb in Ward 7. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like I'm not gonna say an uphill climb. I'm just feel like that it's just so much to do that one person can't do it. It gotta be more of a pass the torch. You know what I'm saying, dog? So without further ado, we're gonna bring on our guest tonight.
Welcome to the podcast pit. A mentor, coach, leader, candidate for Ward 7, DC native. Put your hands together. Welcome to the podcast pit. Ebbon, Allen.
Now, Ebbon Island. First of all, let me see. Can I hear you first? Did you mute it? All right, go ahead.
Mic check 1 2 1 3.
Most definitely. What's up, player?
How you doing, man?
What's going on with you?
I'm blessed, man. Highly favored.
I appreciate you stopping past the Hoodviewpolitics podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Give your insight on your vision of Ward 7. That's basically what we want here. Is the vision of what you see Ward 7 in the future. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Yes,
but
sir.
before we get to that, I feel like when you do interviews, I feel like you have to get to know the person, right? So I feel like most people are raised, and by the time they're 15, 16, most of the raising are done. So I feel like I want to know who is Ebbon, 15 years old. What am I seeing? What am I thinking? What is my future? What I want done at 15 years old? What you thinking?
Yeah, when I was 15 years old tonight, I'm grateful and I'm blessed to be here. At 15, I was actually attending Fletcher Johnson Educational Center. I'm on Bennett Road and C Street Southeast, in between Bennett Terrace and also the old Eastgate. And so at 15, I was basically just trying to make it out, enjoying, Fletcher Johnson had an open space campus. So we had open classrooms. But as a 15-year-old, I was just looking for opportunities, just getting a better education and also, having a future of just becoming successful. A lot of my peers lost their lives to public safety and gun violence. And so we've been traumatized for over 30 plus years in regards to gun violence. And so Fletcher Johnson, was pretty much like a safe haven for me. But we had activities, we had programs. It was also a clinic there at Fletcher Johnson. And so, even a few of my classmates actually took a trip to England in 1992. And so, it was a great opportunity for my classmates. But as a 15-year-old, just dreaming, to be alive within the next 10, 15, 20 years as a 15-year-old. But also, the city providing services, job opportunities, employment, and just being able to really take pride in the nation's capital that we all call home.
Most definitely. I don't know if you heard before you came in that I was born and raised here. You know what I'm saying, dog? My history is just DC. My grandmother was here. She left North Carolina when she was 16 years old and came down here for a better life.
Yes.
You know what the South was back then.
Correct.
And when she left when she was 16 and got away from that.
Yes, sir.
And her bloodline been here in DC since then. So that tells you right there that Ward 7 and Ward 6 is mainly where we lived at.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, anybody live in DC, you just can't stay in one spot. So
right,
we lived all around DC.
Correct.
Which brings me to my first question.
Yes.
When we get to affordable housing, right?
Correct.
In Ward 7.
Yes.
Now, I'm under the impression that we have a lot of affordable housing, right? But
right.
Is that affordable housing livable? Is that a house that an average family should be living in general, though? As far as the landscape, as far as the build of the building, whether it's upkept or not. It's like, even though you got affordable housing,
correct,
is that house worth living in?
Yes. Well, there are homes and pockets throughout Ward 7, that are definitely a great community. It just depends on what part of Ward 7 you reside in. But pretty much all of us have been dealing with public safety, right? And so, there are also some units that's been coming to Ward 7, such as in the Deanwood community and also in the Marshall Heights community. And so, you're trying to make sure that, families that actually invested into these particular residents and particular communities, that they have safety, and also what does it surround those particular communities to bring the property value up. That's key. Like, what are some of the amenities that families can have, access to? In Ward 7, it's almost like it's basically a food desert. For a lot of folks, they feel like they're not great quality grocery stores, restaurants, retail shops. That's been pretty important for the individuals and constituents that I've been able to talk to. They just want a place to call home and also have access to, all the amenities that every other community have, throughout Washington, D.C., especially west of the river. So we deserve our due diligence to have those, particular places of fortitude and places of enjoyment, places of engagement, and places of our families really want to, take pride in. I think that makes a difference. And so, some families, they want to be able to walk their dogs, take their kids to the park, just the simple things that can be offered throughout any community without Washington, D.C. But especially in Ward 7, we deserve that. A lot of folks been working very, very hard, dedicated, committed. It's been generations, like you said, that's lived in Ward 7. My grandparents moved to Ward 7 in the 1950s. And so, yes, you want to be able to preserve the legacy, but also within these homes, you definitely want families to be able to afford living here, and not just afford, but actually stay here and pass everything down as far as home ownership, home equity to these family members and community members.
And that kind of touch on regentrification.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Tony number
this
one.
This is
soul,
number one
brother.
soul, brother Tony, my podcast partner.
And it's a pleasure to have you on here this evening. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm dragging right now. But
okay, man,
you was talking about like the lack of stores and the lack of places to get, healthy food, good food, and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people, a lot of people do have to that live in DC do end up going across the street, go across the line to Maryland or VA, to shop in those stores and buy those products because is a lack of variety and a lack of stores in period.
With good, healthy food.
Yeah, so
Healthy food, correct.
just not only food but products, everyday products. So what can we do, to help keep that money, keep that money in the city?
Yes. So I told you guys I went to Fletcher Johnson Educational Center, but one of the newest projects when it comes to economic development is the Fletcher Johnson at the Park. So the city actually was giving $42 million to the developers, Greg Cardona. And so this year, I believe within the $20 million for this year, they're going to actually tear down Fletcher Johnson Educational Center. So they're going to have mixed use housing, single family homes, home for seniors. But being on the Fletcher Johnson Task Force, our goal was to make sure that everything was inclusive as far as bringing retail shops, a community clinic, a grocery store, quality grocery store, and a nice sit-down restaurant. That's what we've been advocating for within the last 3 or 4 years. And so, individuals, constituents, they don't really want to always have to go out to Virginia and the bordering parts of Washington, D.C., but have something that they can have accessibility to, but also, safety. So with Fletcher Johnson project, they're actually going to tear the building down this year and then work on the next phases of development. But, it's bittersweet, but the community, Fletcher Johnson has been closed since 2011. And that's 13 plus years that we've been stagnant. We've been forgotten about. It feels like we've been abandoned. And so it's my quality leadership that's going to advocate to make sure that we, the constituents and residents, really get what they deserve. And then also, Tony, we just have to have community buy-in, right? You have to have transparency when you're talking to these developers, and developers also providing transparency when you're talking about inclusive economic development. And so we actually have to have collectively as a community, we have to have strong input and strong advocacy to get those particular amenities to our particular properties and developments.
That's why I say Ward 7 in general, whoever run it is an uphill battle because some of this stuff is out of your hands. Like the food, like in general, the food that comes in that ciphers into DC is trash. Mm-hmm. Like you're not getting the fresh. Everybody know that. You go somewhere else so you can get fresher food. The DC corner stores got trash in it. Mm-hmm. So it's like we've been fed trash as a community, right? Mm-hmm. So it's got to be some way where we can have the fresh foods like Virginia do. Like it got to be a way. It's just what is the reason why the fresh foods did not keep coming to DC? Why it stops in transport? Why it stops there? Why it not continue to come to DC and give us the fresh food where we can't go anywhere? But I do appreciate though we have the markets. We have few markets.
Mm-hmm. Free markets, correct.
We need more, but
a whole lot more, especially in Ward 7. Yes,
right. Exactly. Where I stay at, I stay on 16th Street. So,
okay,
it's only one grocery store that's walking distance or a short drive,
mm-hmm.
and that's the Safeway.
Right.
They be having good stuff, but it's the only grocery store there, especially big chain grocery store that's there. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff is gone. If you don't get there quick, it's gone.
So let me ask you this. I know right here is kind of way over the head of somebody running for Ward 7. I get that. But tell me your ideas of combating that situation in Ward 7, in DC in general.
Yeah, so you want to have quality grocery stores. The one on Safeway on Minnesota Avenue and Bennett Road, eventually I think their lease will be up this year, right? And so if that's the case, then we can bring maybe a Whole Foods or maybe a quality, healthy grocery store to that Safeway. A lot of residents don't even frequent that Safeway, and it's been there for at least 10 to 15, 20 plus years, and so nothing has changed. And so we actually have to make sure that we work with some of these major food chains, and that they'll be able to invest and buy in, to bring in their particular grocery stores, to our communities. I think that's key. But there's also, small businesses and small groups that have like Market 7 that's trying to bring, quality groceries and quality foods to Ward 7. And I believe that's off of Bennett Road, not too far from the Chateau. But that's important. But then also, building relationships with these banks and these corporations, that they'll invest into, supporting and bringing some of these quality grocery stores. You can go to 8th Street. You can go uptown to Fort Totten. You can go to Georgia Avenue and see a plethora of quality grocery stores and food chains. And so we want to bring those same type of amenities and quality food to Ward 7 because the residents and constituents deserve that.
Exactly.
One thing I missed is the farmers market.
Yes, sir.
That's
Most
what I
definitely.
missed.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't mean to change gears like this, right?
Yes, sir.
But one of the main issues in the Black community is gun violence, right?
Yes, sir.
And I don't care where you come from in the Black community. You know somebody had been shot or somebody been involved in gun violence.
Correct.
Safe form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I've been shot 3 times, right?
Wow. Mm.
And
Wow.
I grew up. That's why I say I've been in DC my whole life. I'm lucky to be alive. I always tell people that, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Yes, sir.
And I'll give back. I love giving back. Just to be alive is lucky. When you're alive, you should give back just because you're alive.
No question.
That's just me.
I understand.
So after I've been shot before, right?
Mhm.
And I know the problem of gun violence in our community.
Yes, sir.
So again, this is something that's going to be over Ward 7 council. I know that. That's why I don't want to put that much burden on you. But
It's not a burden. Mhm.
your vision,
Yes, sir.
the tampering down the guns, the loose way of guns being in our hoods,
Mm-hmm.
way kids can get them,
Mm-hmm.
anybody can get them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is your vision to combat that?
Yeah, so you want to, there's so many folks that's dealing with trauma with gun violence. Sadly, I lost my only brother to gun violence in 1998.
Sorry to hear that.
26 years old. He lost his life. And so, I've always had a passion, to find other ways, intervention when it comes to especially our young males. And so being able to talk about what's going on and then build relationships with these young men and also young ladies. But like you said, it's too much free accessibility to firearms. And so we have to come up with, some policy and legislation to be able to stop the flow of, these illegal firearms for our young people. But also, you just got to try to get to the root because a lot of our kids are dealing with just generation of gun violence, right? And so we have to be able to, have a sit down and candid conversation and dialogue, with our young men and young ladies. What I've done before is I was an ANC commissioner, single member District 7003 that represented the Bennett Park community and parts of the Marshall Heights community. And so, we've talked about public safety. We've been talking about public safety, especially over the last 10 years. And so with my public safety day, we actually have few of the neighborhoods come together and try to unravel some of the issues, some of the mental health issues or some of the things that has been taking place for generations as far as these feuds. And so we have to really talk about it. And then, I think also we need to have fatherhood initiatives, to build more relationships with their sons. I've talked to some fathers, a father shouldn't be taking out life insurance because they don't think that their son is not going to live long. They might not have longevity. And so that we have to change that narrative. We have to change that mindset. And so with my platform, I want to be able to support grassroots organizations. Mass incarceration is not the only answer, right? We have to make sure that we're learning how to rehabilitate our young men, our young ladies, our young adults. And so providing those services is critical. It's urgent. We're in a state of emergency right now. Feels like we're like part of city under siege again, And so even with my graduating from Morehouse, what I've done with Morehouse Day, we talked to over 450 young men, one middle school, one high school in Ward 7. The high school was Ron Brown High School, which is the only all-boy high school in Ward 7 and in Washington, D.C., and Kelly Miller Middle School, a middle school that both of my parents attended as well. And so, we just have to take some more preventative measures, but also finding out what the youth need and what they're passionate about, right? And so part of my public safety vision is to have a youth advisory board. You don't see any public officials having everyday or monthly sessions with the youth, with our young people. So as adults, all of us are grown men, right? And we've been teenagers. You've been shot. You've been traumatized. Tony has been through trials and tribulations. I've been through mine. But when are we going to have the opportunities to listen to our youth? Now is their time to be able to speak up and also help us with coming up with some resolutions to stop some of this gun violence. Because all of us are bleeding. We're bleeding internally. We're bleeding externally. Our communities are crying out. And a lot of our youth and young adults are living hopeless. And we have to take some vision and come up with some preventative measures to slow down the bleeding.
Now, one thing I do give you credit on after researching you, right?
Yes, sir.
That you are proactive with our youth. So I want you to explain to everybody your journey, first of all, as a basketball coach.
Yes, sir.
First of all, what got you started in coaching basketball? Is it just because? No, tell me, what was it that started you, first of all, to start off as a basketball coach?
Yeah, so I know I talk about Fletcher Johnson a lot, but I played basketball. I actually made the ninth grade team, middle school, junior high school team at Fletcher Johnson. And I recall Coach Brown doing so much with myself and my teammates. Of course, we seemed like a middle of a war zone between, Simple City and Eastgate. And basketball was, for all of us, a place of refuge, camaraderie, love. And it was just something that we really enjoyed. It was our escape. And so, Coach Brown, he had one white van. I remember after practices that he would drop us off in all of our particular communities. And so that was a game changer for me. He really saved a lot of lives. We lost a lot of peers, a lot of friends, to the inner city, and inner city struggles. But Coach Brown, being a father figure and not just a basketball coach, but a mentor. And so he instilled in me that, you got to change the trajectory. And it's more than just being a basketball or football coach, but you got to be a father figure. You have to be a mentor. And so when I went to Bennett Park, Mr. Woody Ward, who passed away, but the recreational center's name in honor of, he told me, Ebbon, you have to be dedicated, committed to these young men, because you might be the only positive male figure that they'll ever see, that they'll ever come in contact with, and that actually they'll know that you truly love them.
Exactly.
Now, I'm going to stay on the subject of these youth and this youth violence.
Yes,
and I want to take it back about a month ago to that snow day. And that day, that snow day we had, and it was a young man that was shot on 16th May.
Okay.
Out shoveling snow. This is him and his brothers and his cousins was out shoveling snow, making money.
Right.
That was my nephew.
My condolences, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting better. He's in the way, but he's getting better.
Yes, sir.
My thing was, he was only 16. They was 16.
Yes, sir.
16, 14. And my thing was, they was out doing what kids that age do.
Mm-hmm.
When I was that age and it's a snow day, it's money.
Right.
we gonna shovel some snows, shovel some steps, some sidewalks. We gonna make some money, and that's
right.
What we're doing. And then whatever happened, I was out at the time when it happened, and it's. I think my question is going into two subjects.
Okay.
What can we do about this youth violence, especially all these carjackings, all this gun violence?
Mm-hmm.
The second part of the question is, or the second part I want to get into is, when I went down there and I saw him laying on the ground, and I thought he was gone. But for the grace of God, and it was neighbors that ran out the house, attended to him with CPR, and basically they saved his life. And, so I always, I thank the neighbors, because it is some good people out here.
Yes, sir.
But during that time, me this is me personally. I had a lot of. It took me back to a time like you was talking about the 80s and 90s when we was coming up, and it was like having flashbacks, and and that's like for people like me, that's seen it and been through it, and we seeing it again. That's a mental health issue. It's not only a mental health issue for us, but it's going to be a mental health issue for these youngins out here.
Yes, sir.
That's coming up because
Yes,
they gonna be had the anxiety, they gonna have the depression, they gonna have PTSD,
right?
And, so that's another issue that we got to take care of. We got to put on the table, and it's mental health, because I seen that. I had one of my best friends. I was 20. I was like 25 at the time. One of my friends, I saw him get shot, and he died in the street in my arms. And to see that and to see all that again, that brought me back to a place, that I thought I was past, but it's a lot of people out there, that's like that, and that's a cause of a lot of the stuff that's going on in the streets today. So I mean, what can we do for these youth? Try to get some of these guns off the street. Try to get these youngins in the programs, and like basketball or even boxing or
correct
all that kind of stuff. Music or whatever. And then what can we do on the mental health side of this too?
Yeah, well, the disparities of mental health in Ward 7, they really don't have a lot of mental health resources, a lot of mental health support. And so we need to have throughout the entire ward, mental health facilities, right? Because a lot of people don't have accessibility about the services that are provided within Ward 7 and just in Washington, D.C. as a whole. And so we need to provide more mental health services. But when you're talking about the youth, you want to also partner with like Department of Behavioral Health to bring those services to middle schools. And even when you're talking about elementary schools, because at least a lot of our second, third, and fourth graders also are dealing with trauma, right? And so we have to address those needs, those family needs. And so bring partnerships with the Department of Behavioral Health and those mental services that can, be able to give that strong support to the parents and these young scholars. But then when you're talking about programs, right? I had a great relationship working at volunteering at Woody Ward, used to be known as Bennett Park Recreational Center. And so I'm even thinking of proposing is extended hours for DPR. Now, some people might not agree with that, right? But if you're talking about Ballou State and you're talking about Roosevelt State, well, some young men and some young ladies might not have the opportunity to go to school during those hours, right? So if you allow the recreational center to extend their hours, then they can also take those certification courses, take some apprenticeships, and so they'll have that time. And then, they won't have the idle time, to bring terror and have, make poor decisions and poor choices to bring, violence into their particular community. But they have accessibility, and they'll be able to find something. And then also, all these young men and young ladies love hip hop. They love rap, drill music, whatever may have you. Every rec center should really have a studio, but you don't always have to be in front of the camera when you come to music. I mean, it's so much gifts and talents in Washington, D.C., right? I'm sorry, Tom. Yeah, go ahead.
That's true. I made that point before where we got enough resources where we can make it where you don't have to be a rapper. You can learn how to be an agent. You can learn how to mix and master. You can learn how to engineer.
That's right.
You can put your stamp in the music business, and some of these people make more than the rappers.
They make more than the rappers.
Exactly.
All of them do.
And like you just said, that's a good point. I appreciate you saying that. That it's an overlooked point in our hood, that we're in our community, that music is our engine.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's go-go, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, or rap.
Yes, sir.
It's our engine to give our feelings out.
Right. That's right.
I just think that, to me, go-go is a prime example of your feelings. It's more DC than anything.
Right.
It's an environment of people in our culture.
It's the beat. Yes, sir.
Exactly. It's that. And I just think I got another podcast too that we start off every podcast with Backyard or Hucklebucks.
We call it the 808. 808, so.
But one thing I want to ask you before I let you go. I know this, I'm holding your time.
No, that's okay, man. I'm happy to be on here, man. This is a blessing.
I wanted to ask you about, because you made a good point about making access to people in our culture in the music industry.
Yes, sir.
It's a billions of dollars in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we look to get in it is rapping.
Right.
When they not even making the most money.
Right.
It's the funniest thing, bro. Like if you teach a black person that it's people behind the scenes of that rapper, you could be one of those people making that money. And you could be taught that. I appreciate you bringing that up because
yes, sir.
That's an angle of our culture. We started back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Correct.
This culture is ours.
You talking about like with Stinking Ink and Tony Blunt and all those guys, right?
To believe it. once you put stake into an art like that,
yes, sir.
Invest in it. If you don't invest in it, you'll lose it. That's just the point. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Yes, sir.
But before you let you go, right? I want to do a rapid fire question to you, right?
Okay.
So when I say this name right here, you tell me from 1 to 5, what's the first thing come to your mind?
Okay.
Mumbo sauce.
I love it. 5.
1 to 5.
5. All the way 5. Can you exceed 5?
Ben's Chili Bowl.
4.
Florida Avenue Grill.
5.
Most definitely, baby. Then we on the same page. No. Backyard.
5.
Hey, everyone, ask you more questions. Young Hucklebutt.
We got the bud. 5.
I appreciate you a whole lot, bro. You got
now you know, Jones, that Ricky Angles is the lead talker for EXO Band, the show in Atlanta from the Hucklebuck. So he's the lead talker. There's a go-go band in Atlanta, Georgia called EXO Band, the show, and Ricky Angles is the lead talker for EXO.
That's what's up. I noticed now that rappers are now rapping on go-go beats.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed they doing that, but everybody don't know Scarface did come down to DC and come to go-go joints. Ice Cube did too, so everybody don't know. They just got exposed to it when they came down. You know what I'm saying, my man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. They got exposed to that go-go when they came down here.
They did.
They never forgot.
You couldn't escape it. You had to.
I was there when Poor Righteous Teachers came.
Cause right now you got Scarface doing raps on beats.
Right.
Seen that lady? Raps on go-go beats.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that. So it looks like go-go. This is something I've always wanted. I understand rap was blowing up.
Sure.
I always felt like go-go had that place where we need to be invested in. You know what I'm saying? If you invest in the go-go, you'll have another genre of music, whether y'all know that or not.
No question.
You know what I'm saying, dog? So I don't know. DC got something right now we can flourish and put into the atmosphere, just like rap. For real.
When we talk about go-go too, gentlemen, is that you have to offer go-go into the DC public schools, right? Or you can put it with the music courses or with DC history. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys took up DC history. I took up DC history in 9th grade, right? So why not infuse some of that go-go culture and music and the cloth with the DC curriculum, DC history curriculum, right? And so a lot of young scholars, they don't take DC history until 3rd grade, but they take a break from 4th to 11th grade, and then DC history is also presented to 12th graders. But that timeline, that gap in between from 4th to 11th grade, how much history, DC history, that our young kids and scholars are learning every day. And so if you also incorporate and infuse go-go music, the genre, the cloth, the beat, into that curriculum, that'll be a game changer. It'll change the whole trajectory of how you preserve go-go forever.
Exactly.
Beat on a record, you got to, with go-go, you got to play it. You got to learn how to play it. You got to play drums. You got to play congos, keyboard,
trumpet.
Yeah, you got to play.
Stop playing with me, bro. Hey, I appreciate you a whole lot, man. You got anything you got coming up? You got to tell somebody what, let them know your Instagrams, wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what's going on with you in the future right now, so they can get a hold.
So all of my social platform is Ebbon for 7. My website is ebbonfor7.com. And so you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Everything is ebbonfor7.com. I will be having some upcoming Ask Ebbon meetings and questions that, Q&A that the constituents of Ward 7 can be able to ask. Transparent and straightforward about my vision for Ward 7 and how Ward 7 is going to be the best ward in Washington, D.C. Also, make sure you tell your friend, your neighbors, your family, your community that June 4th, please vote for Ebbon A. Allen as your next Ward 7 D.C. councilman.
Okay.
Appreciate your whole lot, babe, for stopping past here. Appreciate your whole lot.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks to God, man. God bless you guys. Keep up the great work.
You
Most
too,
definitely.
brother.
Appreciate
Good
you.
luck.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I'm not biased towards anything, right? But my gut feeling is I like it. Do you know that? That's just my gut. You know what I'm saying, dog? Haven't talked to anybody else yet, right? But my gut feeling is he in it for the right. Like, when you look at politicians, you try to feel what are they here for, right? You can get it. Like, if you talk to Trump for 10 minutes, you know he's not here for no fucking politics. He's not here to take care of you. You know what I'm saying, dog? Even if you like him, you know he's not here to take care of motherfuckers. It's like when you talk to somebody that's a politician, you get the feel from they want to help people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And once you get that from somebody, I think they are where they supposed to be. See, Trump is not where he's supposed to be. Okay? He's supposed to be a salesman some fucking way. You're not supposed to be in politics.
That was always my issue. If you want the people to vote for you, you got to go to the people. You got to go where the people at. You got to talk to the people. You can't talk at the people. You can't talk around the people. You got to talk to the people. You got to let the people know what you're about. You got to go where you don't want to go.
So shout out to him for stopping past the Hoodview Politics podcast for show. Anybody out there that's running for Ward 7, you're free to come on anytime you want. You know what I'm saying, dog? It's not no biased thing. We just collecting information. Veda Rashid, I know you went to Eastern. My little sister went to Eastern. You might know her. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to stop past this podcast anytime you want, to rebuttal or do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying, dog? You can come past anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Ebony. Same thing for Vendale.
It's 2 Ebonys running.
It's 2 Ebonys. It's one with an I and one with a Y. Either one of y'all want to come on this podcast and express your feelings, because that's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying, dog? We're not here to show no bias or anything, but when I talk to you, though, I will know who the hell you are. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. So now, you know what I'm saying? What you feel from? What you get?
I mean,
maybe I'm off the record somewhere. What you get? Off the
record, but he's authentic. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about.
He's a person. He knows DC. He grew up here. He knows the culture. He knows what the city is about and what it needs. You know. And,
exactly.
And I believe that, he wants to be held accountable. He's one of them ones that if you get him in there, if you get in there, he'll do different stuff. Because he's going to be held accountable.
He'll do different off the cuff stuff, like when Clinton first won, right? He ran around the McDonald's. That was different off the cuff stuff, right? Because he normally just be around normal people. So once you become president, it's hard to switch it off, right? Like you could tell he gonna do something unorthodox if he become, you know what I'm saying? Something that's not normally done by politicians. You feel me?
Yeah, Clinton used to do that shit when he got out.
Exactly, yeah. All I remember from Clinton is him running the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? That's your vision of him running through the hoods, bro. It's like that was some serious shit to us.
You gotta know where your vote's at. You gotta know where the vote's at.
True.
And you gotta give a damn about them votes. You can't just can't just assume just because you say something, somebody gonna vote for you.
True.
Hell nah. J-Ball, you got to go out there and you got to hit the ground and you got to do the work. And if you ain't willing to do that, you know.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. I get the vibe from him that this is what he wants. Now I went all the way back to his first fucking post on Twitter, right? See, this is what I do. I catch you slipping. You know what I'm saying? I went all the way to his first joint. I was waiting to see something. You know what I'm saying? But nope. It's the same person giving to kids, trying to do things, trying to help people. To me, I can't hate on that, my boy.
Yeah, but you can't
in fact,
switch it up. You can't be going around switching it up, you know, for I'm gonna be this way here, I'm gonna be this way there. You gotta be one way. And you gotta be one way. And wherever you on here or you on channel 9, channel 7.
But no, you know how that some of them switch up?
Yeah.
Like someone wouldn't even give you opportunity, wouldn't come on interviews like this. They don't know how well connected we are in this city. He don't either.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now I'm just not an average motherfucker that's born and raised here. I'm real connected in this motherfucker. But he didn't know that. He gave us a chance though.
That just go to show he out here trying to get every vote. If he got,
I like that. See, you getting to my point. You're getting to what I was about to say.
If he did this interview tonight and he got one more supporter than he had before he did the interview, it was successful for him.
That's my point. It's like not only you authentic, you go on wherever you need to go to get as many votes you need. You feel me? So that's what's up. What's up? So what you get from the interview?
I got a lot of positive things out there. His whole vision for Ward 7 is totally different from what people see now. You know, I had a good talk with him. You know, came in my shop and we had a good talk with him one day. And we just 5 minutes conversation to a 2.5 hour conversation. You know, our insight on things and his insight on things was awesome.
Yeah. Again,
you know, he focused basically community.
This is not a fucking what's the name for my man, all right? If you want to come, if you're running for Ward 7, we're wide open for whatever. But it's obvious that what we just said, that if you're reaching out for each and every vote, you deserve that vote, as far as I'm fucking concerned, right? And another thing is you authentic. I got that from him. So that's my first time meeting him. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you got the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. So that's me. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a good judge of character from selling as much coke out there done. You know what I'm saying? That selling as much crack as I sold. I got a good judge of foods out here. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's get into some real shit. Do y'all know that Donald Trump is seconds, if not weeks, away from being a Republican nominee? Y'all ready for this?
Oh, Trump is already Republican.
Are y'all ready?
It just ain't official.
For the Republican nominee to be Donald J. Trump?
You're already a nominee. It just ain't official yet.
I say you gotta run. You gotta go through the steps, my boy. That's why I said somebody should have ran against him just in case something happened. But they didn't even run. They so scared. My bad. Nikki Haley, I'm sorry. My fault. You still in it.
Dumbass.
For no reason. Hey, Nikki Haley, what you doing though? Really, what you doing? Me and no one soul brother want to know exactly what you doing here.
I know what she doing there. She hoping he get hemmed up.
She trying to stay in the race and hoping he doesn't get locked up. So she be the automatic nominee.
I think it's no other way you doing this, but hoping he fall off the table.
Yeah, she was waiting for
because this ain't gonna work.
She gonna stay in as long as she possibly can till the money run out. When the money run out, she ain't got no choice.
Now, if anybody know what we talking about Nikki Haley. She's still in the race. I think most Americans think it's just only Trump, but it's not. It is a lady still left in the race. For example, if Trump would slip and bust his knee somewhere and don't want to run no more, it's still somebody left now. Whether y'all know it or not, okay? It's just somebody there. That's all we need. I want to let y'all know. I don't know why she did.
And she won't get it anyway because if Trump was the motherfucking something was to happen to Trump, they wouldn't do that but have an open convention at the fucking convention and nominate.
Yeah, it will be
else.
wild and shit. Yeah, it won't be her. You're right.
It won't be her. She's not going to get it.
That ain't the reason why we do this podcast is one, which you just seen from Ebbon Island. Two, is to decipher stuff like this because black people, you have to know the reality of the reality, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just cannot walk around here and just catch sound bites all over the place and vote on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we here. We want to decipher things. Now, my baby. I don't know if you've seen this interview with Willis in the case with Donald Trump and
I still don't understand.
Yeah, you seen it? You seen it?
I seen she told the motherfucker, I'm not the one with the 91 goddamn counts. I'm not the one that tried to steal the election.
No, hold on. This is my thing about this whole thing right here, right? First of all, she went in that joint with an attitude. She went in that mother. When she sat there, it was like, what the fuck? Bring your white ass here. Come here, right here. Nah, you lied, bitch. No, I don't want to. You lied, bitch. You lied 3 times. Now get over here. Give me your documents. Hey, she went into a joint and said, give me your documents. You lied. I like it. I love black. First of all, she from the DC area. For anybody don't know, this is my baby here. Okay. Howard University products. You know what I'm saying? No, our products don't play. You all right? I don't give a fuck. If we in Atlanta, Georgia, or fucking Louisiana. We DC motherfuckers do not play. Okay? And you can see it in her face when she said that. Like, where that bitch at? You lied. I love her. Hey, what's up, Tony? Did you see that though?
I saw some of it.
What you think? You saw it, Sean?
She fucking right. I mean, y'all motherfuckers sitting here, y'all worrying about who.
Yeah, man. She lit them. From when she came in that job, when she came in angry already. Period. Like you said. Then she went from angry to just over the top. You know, she started asking them questions. She's like, "I'm not on trial."
But again, let's back this up, okay? A few months ago, when it started, I pointed out that Republicans are nasty, right? I pointed out she's a whore. I heard from the grapevine she come from DC. She's a slut. I didn't think she was going to do all this, but it wouldn't surprise me if the slut did slut stuff, okay? And I told Tony 3 months ago, the Republicans will smear her up with some slut stuff. I knew it was going to happen. They're going to muddy the waters. Oh, that attorney over there is foul. Swing it to Congress.
I agree with you. Hey, this is Jedi. They tried a Jedi mind trick.
I knew it.
Who the fuck she's sleeping with?
Now again,
she's sleeping with.
Again, she was fucking this dude. 2, the Bama is one of her campaign motherfuckers. 3, all this happened during the time she was doing the case with Trump. Now, in my mind, what the fuck was she thinking? First, when you know Republicans are trash, this is the only thing they need to find on you is you fucking somebody.
Well,
and you gonna do it?
First of all, like I said a couple months ago, she a grown ass woman.
Okay, that's cool.
She can sleep
but
with
Republicans, we know who Republicans are.
And I understand. I know where you're coming from. But who she's sleeping with, it ain't really got. It's a Jedi mind trick because it's not a conflict of interest. It's not like she was sleeping with somebody on Trump's side of the fucking case.
I get what you're saying.
She was sleeping with a motherfucker in her office. If she wanted to fuck through her whole motherfucking office, that's her fucking business. But like you said, yeah, they're gonna try to muddy the fucking waters and say, well, she's the motherfucker. She's a loose woman. Okay, you can call her a loose woman. A judge just called the defendant a fucking rapist.
No.
This happened.
Wait.
The relationship happened before the case. You know, it happened like a year, for 1 year. That was it. So it didn't even happen during this case. They just bringing it up because they're saying, oh, he benefited from the case, which is still who benefited from it. Nobody benefited from nothing.
Right.
They're just trying to use that as a scapegoat to delay this case.
Yeah, it's a Jedi mind trick. It's
I don't know,
it's,
bro.
It's no comp. It's
All right.
There's
nowhere.
no conflict of interest. It's none. It's the case whatever she had did in her personal life a year ago before the case started has nothing to do with what you did and what you did with violations you caused.
All right.
Yeah.
This
The laws
is
you broken.
this is a problem she's gonna run into. Besides political, Republicans always
It's
on shit.
it's
Besides
political.
that, you gotta realize if he a employee of hers or working on a campaign or some shit, and she being employed by the state, she cannot be fucking these people, bro. And if it's documented now, she's fucking this person on her campaign before this thing started, that's gonna be a problem.
But see, evidently, they ain't had nothing in the motherfucking rule book to say she couldn't fuck with the dude. She couldn't date.
Cool.
She couldn't date.
Cool.
She couldn't date nobody
Cool.
outside of the office.
But then,
because if it was, they would have fired.
I get you on that. But then, when you start taking trips with him to these places, you're paying for it. Where's the money coming from? Then he filing taxes saying it's his business account paying for it. The conflict of interest is gonna start fucking you both up. And now you're sitting there with tax problems or slut. Too much going on for Republicans for her to even continue with the case. Be honest with you, they're gonna throw her ass out of it.
If you get into a situation where him and her was taking trips or whatever the fuck, and they was using money, and they was using money from the state's attorney's office, you got a problem. But the only thing,
but if you listen to her, she said she paid for everything with cash. The problem she got caught up with is where the cash was coming from and how long you had in your house.
But again, all that is irrelevant because
okay,
why if you got money in your house? It's rappers leave money. Rappers got money in their houses.
I want y'all to stay with me.
Like, people keep money in their houses.
Cool. Stay with me. This is Attorney General of the state. Not only every dime she makes is scrutinized, she filed taxes on that.
Okay.
Stay with me. Anybody she hires does the same thing. Now, is a conflict on y'all taking trips here, there. He calling it business shit on his taxes. You calling it personal on yours. That's the problem we're gonna have. Now you see what I'm saying? It's not the shit
but
you
did
did.
they legally find that?
Hold on. It's not the shit they looking for you on. It's what they find afterwards. Republicans do this good. They don't. It's not what they put you in this shit spotlight for. It's what they find you with after.
They trying to create a perception.
Then with all that going on with taxes, this nigga probably signing off taxes for business here and there. She not doing it. She giving money under the table. This shit get too fuzzy and fucked up.
She can't have.
She gonna end up off the case.
She paying for a trip or whatever the fuck with cash. And if the cash was drawn from a government account, you would know it because you can go back and you can easily go back and find that.
She paying shit for cash when she being slick about it. Now you see what I'm saying? So for example, she fucking this dude, right? In the campaign. You call an air joint, you make the joint. You make the what's the name? You do that with your credit card. When we get there, I'll pay you off the money. Now, my name ain't nothing doing nothing. I'm not even really here. You see what I'm saying? They do this the whole time. They've been calculating this shit every time they go somewhere.
Yeah, but it's still
meaning
perception.
You pay for it on your card, I would just give you the money. Meaning you could make it your business thing. I'm not even here.
But see, the whole thing is this.
Republicans don't want to hear that. You gotta remember, this is a Republican attacking her.
You trying to create a perception.
She fucked up.
Until and this has not come up. Until somebody can trace that money back to campaign funds, or they trace it back to government funds.
No.
She can do what the fuck she want to do.
She fucked up on those two counts I just gave you. Whether or not nothing happens, he probably signed some shit on this. The taxes gonna fuck both of them up. You see what I'm saying? How long you think Republicans let that slide? Just you fuck taxes up. They gonna jump on that.
What's gonna happen is he gonna keep her on the case, but then she's gonna assign somebody else to the case where she's gonna step back and play the back row. That's what I think is gonna happen. He can't take her off the case legally.
Right there is where Republicans step in with the Congress and all types of shit.
Well, see,
it's what's gonna happen.
This is the issue. They can kick her off the case if they want to. If they fuck around and they find something and kick her off the case, That's one thing. But the case still ain't going nowhere.
No, if they
Yeah,
didn't,
true, but if somebody else can pick it.
hold on. But if they find that now the attorney general of the case is foul as fuck, and they start making case that she does other things with the paperwork and things like that to fuzzy the case up, to even bring the case up.
But until you do that,
that's how Republicans work. Y'all remember that.
Okay, but they will see this.
Public
this
perception is what you get from after that.
This is the point. They ain't got none of that yet. If they had any
They
of
never
that,
need it.
if you know, you're gonna need something.
You got enough out of this
You're gonna
interview
need
for
something.
Republicans to do enough. He did enough on his taxes.
Yeah.
He had enough on his taxes for them to fuck them two up enough.
Come on,
Trust me.
come on.
If you listen to the
You wanna
interview,
go at her.
especially
You wanna
his,
go- You want to go at her.
he was all over the place.
Hold on. You want to go at her. They want to go at her for she's sleeping with somebody in her office or on
She
a
was.
campaign. Okay, you can do that. A judge just said that Trump basically raped the woman.
Wait.
Okay, you want to go at her talking about.
Wait. I understand y'all like to do that. That's cool.
Hold on. You want to go at her and say, okay, you did some fuzzy shit on your taxes, motherfucker. You already been exposed as a tax cheat, and you was just fined 354 million for doing some shady shit in your business dealings. Come on, dude.
All right, let me ask you this. This is
That's
Republican.
not going to matter to the Republican Party. That's what you're saying. That's not going to matter.
Fuck about that. They don't
But
care about
supposed
Trump.
to, because
You can bring up
that's their
anything.
name.
He can murder somebody like he said in Fifth Avenue. They don't want to hear that. They want to go back to her. Fucking dude. Do you understand that? And they're going to make it so she's just so foul. So foul that she made up the case. She brought this up foully.
Ooh, I gotta read that.
That's the thing I'm trying to get in your head. Public perception after that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. They try to create a perception that she doing that she sleeping with whoever. But where is the benefit coming, or where is the wild shit or the conflict of interest coming from who she's sleeping with? She's not sleeping with one of Trump's attorneys. She's sleeping with somebody on her side, somebody she worked with.
True.
Okay, but
So-
she's not.
Until you can,
It just come down to when they was fucking with each other
What you gonna say?
and when he was hired.
Well, she put him
Okay,
on.
that's the thing. It's the thing. They don't even together for a year. They say everything happened in 2022. It's 2024. You know, so it's 2024. So that ain't have nothing to do with what's going on right now. That's why the judge gonna keep her on the case. But at the same time, I think she's going to step back and let somebody else is in the same office that knows the case, that she can stand in the back scenes and still help with the case, because that way you can take her name off of it and attention will come off her
She
and back
done.
to the case.
I agree with
She
you.
done. She not on the
I
case
don't
no more.
think-
Republicans seceded in that.
I don't
She
think-
gone.
I don't think she the one.
That's the key y'all gotta
I don't
understand.
think
That
she
who
the one
next?
that's gonna. I don't think she's the one that's going to run the trial. I don't think she's. Gonna
She
be the one.
done.
I don't think
She
I
cooked.
don't think that. I
She
didn't
cooked.
think that from the beginning anyway.
But she cooked.
I always thought, the motherfuckers, they bring the case and then they get, they got some hot shot lawyer in the office that they gonna put on the case that's going to do the case. Because this is what I think is gonna happen. I think she's gonna not run the case. I think she's gonna come out with a young, handsome,
She done.
charismatic,
She ain't running that no more.
young white dude that's appealing and gonna put him on the fucking case and fry his ass. That's what I think is going to happen.
You definitely
That's
not
what I
running
can
no
see
more.
happen.
You're not
Either
running
that,
no more.
or she's gonna put a white. It's gonna be a white woman. It's gonna be a white woman that's going to run the case. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a woman, because this ain't gonna be a man. It's gonna be a woman because he despised women.
Yeah,
A white woman.
Like I said, a woman. Period.
you
You
gonna
got
have
to be a woman because he despises them.
and she ain't gonna be no Marsha Clark. She gonna tear his ass out the frame. That I believe that was gonna happen from the get go. I never thought she was gonna be the one. She was gonna be the one that's in the courtroom questioning people and doing this and doing. I think she gonna be seated. I thought she might have been seated at the table, but a case that big, One lawyer is not going to run it by themselves. So she was going to already have other lawyers on the case with her. And she probably already got some young, hotshot, vicious motherfucker that's going to try this case and burn his ass. And he ain't going to see it coming because they focus on her.
He ain't going to see it coming.
They ain't going to see, they're going to be like, it's going to be, oh man, Fannie Willis is not, she's not prosecuting the case. They're putting on such and such and such. And then they're going to say, well, who is this lawyer that's going to be prosecuting the case? And they're going to be somebody that never lost. They got a high-ass conviction rate. And they're going to be like, God damn. Oh, shit, we done fucked up. We should have kept her on the motherfucking case. That's what I have happened.
No. She done, though. She is not on this case no more. Republicans seceded in that. That
when
is,
they take her off this case, they have to take her off the other RICO case that she's doing. She's doing 2 RICO cases right now. She's
done.
also doing the YSL case. So if they put that the case, then they're gonna combine both and they would dismiss both cases.
She done.
All I can say about that is this: even if she's not on the case or whatever, she might be. I think we all agree that she probably more likely than not, she's not gonna be the one trying this case. But I say this much: be careful what you ask for.
Nah, but what I'm saying again is this is how they maneuver a redneck in there that don't want to do anything. I got
the thing is, it's still gonna stay at the state. It's gonna be at her department still. As long as because they're gonna kick her off the case. That's one thing they're not gonna do. If they do, that's gonna be like a mean or one shot. They're gonna kick off the case. But if they do, if they stay when she stay on the case, she's gonna back off to let somebody else in her office still proceed on with the case. That way, her name is off of it. So, like you said, she could slander him all day long.
Hey, she's still top dog in the motherfucker, and she's still top dog in the motherfucker. In the state's attorney's office. So she gonna still pick who she want to run the case, or even if she give it over to somebody else, she probably already told me, yeah, I'm gonna step back, put that motherfucker right there on there, and burn his ass.
It ain't. I don't know if it's gonna work like that. But
shit,
because
how?
I just don't think it worked like that.
How? She can decide
because she ain't got no say so.
How she ain't got no say so? She's the top dog. If she the top dog, she can put whoever she want on the case. It's on her to assign. It's on her to assign lawyers to cases and say, boom, boom, boom. Okay, take this. Get this case to such and such. I want this. This is a RICO case. He good with RICO cases, so I'm gonna get this case to this person right here, or this person good with murder.
That's exactly what I was saying. She's gonna stay in her department. Is that he's not gonna kick her off, but she's gonna pull back and give it to somebody in her department that she knows is real good, and she's gonna be back there and just make sure everything is executed perfectly.
See, the thing is, they don't want this shit. See, this shit in Georgia gonna be on TV. Oh yeah, and they don't want the visual of a black woman frying his ass on TV. They don't want that. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna get the visual of a white woman or a white man frying their ass on TV.
I don't know. Now I don't know what's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. Once they torpedo her ass, you don't know what's going to happen after this, bro.
Yeah, no, but unless they fire her and get her out of the motherfucking out of the office, she's still top dog. She can step back and still say,
No. If they take her off the case, it's going to be somebody. They're going to take her whole. I mean, her whole department is off the case.
Yeah, she does.
Her whole department is off the case.
But she running the whole.
No. She would have. You mentioned it. She would have no say so. She has no say so.
If she can step back right now. Fannie Willis is the top dog in the state's attorney's office in Georgia. She's the top dog. It don't nothing happen. That don't go through her. She's no numero uno. If she want to right now, she can say, you know what? Fuck all this shit y'all putting me through. I ain't even gonna argue this shit no more. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna turn this case over to such and such and such and such and such and such. Ain't shit you can do about it. They fighting to get her off the case, but they don't got no motherfuckers and who is going to get the case. That's the issue. That's why you better be careful with it.
She's going to do that. She's going to do that after the judge's ruling. The judge is not going to take her off the case. So after the judge keep her on the case, she's going to step back like that. But if the judge take her off the case, she can't have no say so. The whole department, it's nobody. It's nothing she can do. It's not. It's whoever picks it up. Somebody there has to pick it up.
Who is that judge? I'm telling you, if it's one of them right wing joints, bro, they done. One of them Trump appointed joints. That party over.
They worried about this. Well, they ain't taking the judge off. They trying to get the prosecutor off. They ain't trying to get the judge off. They can't. Well, I mean, you can try. You can try at some point and try to get misconduct.
Now,
or whatever the fuck.
Being as though this is Black History Month, right? Now, first of all, it's a segment we do called Number One Soul Brother Top 5. But this is Black History Month. So that means top 5 is Black History, baby. And that's me too. I'm Black History too. Well, y'all, any artists out there, baby, you look at that Black History DC, baby. DC history, if you want to know. You know what I'm saying? Now, Number One Soul Brother Top 5. Something we do. With Number One Soul Brother express his top 5 issues of the time. Now, we're in Black History. So he's going to give you his top 5 civil rights moments from the Number One Soul Brother. Let them know what you're talking about, Number One Soul Brother.
And for one, we're going to get into this is me. I don't care about what nobody else think. This is me. These are my top 5 moments of the civil rights movement. Now, somebody else might have their own top 5. I don't know. It might jive with mine. I don't know. But these are mine.
Oh, we're going to start 5 to 1.
We're going to start 5 to 1. We're going to start at 5 and we're going to take it on down to number 1. And number 5 of my top 5 is Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954. I'm going back a little bit too far, 1954. When the Supreme Court unanimously, not 63 and 81 and, not split down the middle or whatever, unanimously ruled in a case brought by head of the NAACP defense, one Mr. Thurgood Marshall, who would go on to be a future Supreme Court justice. See how things work? But in Brown versus the Board of Education in Topeka, I think Topeka, Kansas, it was, they ruled unanimously that racial segregation of children in public schools was unconstitutional. Back then you had things going on that people like Ron DeSantis is still trying to, in a slick way, pull the day. They want keep the white children over here with white children get learning reading, writing, arithmetic, and all this stuff, and got the good books, and and you will have the black kids on the other side basically learning nothing. That's basically what it was. They might teach them the basics, but when you get deeper down into trying to educate the kids at this point, you have some I'm gonna say this, you have some funky shit going on. But they ruled unanimously that segregation of children in public schools was unconstitutional. And this is number 5 because this was really, in my opinion, this was a shot that kicked things off, because now we as African Americans or black people at the time, you're going to get the same education that the white kids was getting, or you're supposed to get the same education that white kids supposed to get. So you're learning what they're learning, you're learning from the books that they're learning from, and so on and so forth. So what was big about that, it was, now you're at a time where that generation, the next generation that was coming up, they was further along in their education and will be further along in their education than those that came before them. Because before them, what was they learning? Basically nothing. So now you've been told by the government, no, you gotta teach these kids. You gotta teach these kids the same thing you teaching those kids. So Brown versus Board of Education was real big.
That was in our history a huge. Go ahead. Sure.
I would say that was totally one I agree with. I would say, yeah, I totally agree with that one. And I think that it's still going on today. The same education system is still going on today. It's just going on in a different format, in a different way. It's based off of class now. Just think about it. You gotta go to an Ivy League school to get the top education. So I think it's still a fine line in that still exists now.
The same thing with the food. We were just talking to what's his name? It's like food is the same thing. Schools is the same thing. It's like you get the ran down part of whatever that shit is.
To me, it's like now, today, where it's happening at is when you had this ruling last year that's affirmative action ruling. And then you almost had another ruling that I was looking at today, where when they overturn affirmative action, you going back, you basically want to take shit back till the time where you had a Brown versus Board of Education, and now you're going to end up having a new, because of this. And I was looking at the news today, and now this will kill me. And I said it a month ago when it happened, that you Asians was dumb. You was used. They used you to overturn affirmative action because they tricked y'all into thinking that black people was getting something that y'all wasn't getting. And then in the end, when it got overturned, y'all not getting it. Y'all not getting it either. So you thought you was going to get something and get into all these colleges and schools and universities and shit. You thought you was going to get past black people because they overturned affirmative action, where they're not giving y'all shit either. And they used y'all to get it. And then it's ruling today, the Supreme Court is by a ruling of 7-2 that they didn't take it up, because now the Chinese or the Asian people that started this shit is trying to get back to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court won't take it up. And Clarence Thomas, I think it was because of Clarence Thomas and Alito, they wrote a fiery dissent because they want it back in court so they can eliminate the shit so they can eliminate affirmative action altogether. So you're going to end up going back as far as schools is going. I ain't gonna say schools. I'm gonna say universities, private schools and universities and colleges and shit like that, where affirmative action was helping minorities to get into these schools and get them higher educations. Now they ain't taking nobody they don't want to.
Now, first of all, Thurgood Marshall, for anybody to know, he was one of the forefronts in the public school issues.
Yep.
American civil rights lawyer, first of all. And 29 out of 32 civil rights cases that he argued before the Supreme Court, he won. All on school, including Brown versus Board education, which is the one, like he said, one of the key issues in the Black history years and legacy on this earth. And that was number 5.
Now, number 4 on my list is Bloody Sunday, the march from Selma across the Ebbon Pettus Bridge. Bloody Sunday, March 7, 1965, with 600 people marched in a demonstration led by future Congressman John Lewis, who was the head of the Student Nonviolent Committee, and Hosea Williams of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Now, why was they marching at this time? This time they was marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge because they was protesting and commemorating the killing of Jimmy Lee Jackson. Who was Jimmy Lee Jackson? Jimmy Lee Jackson was a 26-year-old church deacon who was killed by state trooper James Bonard Fowler. Sound like why we marching today. George Floyd, Eric Garner's, Trayvon Martin's. Sound like the same like, okay, what was that, 1965? Ain't shit changed. But you had 600 people. They was going to watch for 54 miles from Selma to Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
But no sooner than they got across the bridge, they were told to disperse. They just crossed the bridge and they told them, y'all niggas got to get the fuck up out of here. Y'all got to disperse. We ain't having this. And what happened? A few minutes later, they started beating the protesters with batons, bull whips, tear gas, billy clubs. And why was this significant? And why was this number 4? And this significance? Because this time it was broadcast on TV and they wrote about it in the newspapers.
Bloody Sunday.
See, this time on Bloody Sunday, it wasn't, we heard about it, or we read about it in the paper or something. Nah, this time you got the visuals. You got the visuals of them damn near beating John Lewis to death. You got the visuals of them beating and tear gas and hitting protesters with bull whips and billy clubs. You got the visuals. You seen this. You seen this on TV. And it led, this incident right here led to protests in more than 80 cities across the United States at that time. 80 cities. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. And because of it, Martin Luther King, MLK, let's see, this happened on, what was the date? March 7th. On March 15th, MLK led more than 2,000 marches to the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, spoke out on the need for voting rights reform. And then on the 25th of March, Martin Luther King completed the march to Selma, the whole 54 miles. And what did it lead to? It led to number 3. It led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So you can see, you can see how it's kind of a theme being woven here between all of my top 5. It's a theme. Now you have, because of Brown versus the Board of Education, you having black people being more educated and being able to understand more of what's actually going on, you know, because of, you know, because of now Bloody Sunday, you're seeing the world and the country is getting to see how shit really is, which led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which was to overcome the legal barriers at the state and local levels that prevented black people from exercising their right to vote. See, you always had your right to vote, but what they did was they wanted to make it hard for you. They wanted you had to be educated in voting and all of this shit, IDs and all this shit, and the same thing they doing today. The same thing they still doing today.
Yeah. It's all the same tactics. Yeah.
It's the same thing. Nothing. You look. We done had three issues so far, and the same things are still going on today. They still trying to take your right to vote. They still trying to make it hard for you to vote. And as I always say, and I say it every time I get a chance on this podcast, y'all people will sit out there, y'all, my brothers and sisters will sit out there and say my vote don't count, my vote don't mean nothing. And look, if your vote don't count or your vote don't mean nothing, why are they trying so hard to take it away from you, to get you not to use it? Think about that. Think about that. So that's number 3. Number 2, in my top 5, is Rosa Parks. Is Rosa Parks being arrested, which led to the bus boycott, which led to desegregation of the bus system. And what did that do? Right? What happened there? The power of the black dollar. Because when she was arrested, because she didn't want to give up her seat to a white man, her people hurt you. Fuck that shit. Damn right. If he was at indecency about it, he wouldn't be tripping about it. He would be tripping anyway. But what led to that, I mean, what led to after she was arrested was the bus boycott, which lasted over a year. And that money that they wasn't getting because black people chose to walk to work, walk to the store, walk where they went, where they had to go. If somebody had a car, they carpooled. They did everything but get on that bus. And that bus and not getting on them buses cost them big money. It wasn't decency that changed that. It wasn't them being out the goodness of their heart. They saying we're gonna desegregate the bus. It was more motherfucking black people was riding the bus than motherfucking white people. And when you wasn't getting that money, it hurt. It hurt the bus company. That was the first time you saw the power of the black dollar, or back then the black pennies. That shit means something. They got to a fucking point. No, hell no. We got to get these motherfuckers back on the bus. I don't give a fuck where they sit. Because at some point, they're going to end up going out of business. So now you got, from 5, you got black people being educated. 4, you got the country being educated as to what's going on with black people in the trials and the tribulations. You got 3, you got now, we being educated, we know what's going on. You know, we can read, we can write, we get we can vote. Now we can vote. I mean, it's a lot of us in this country. We can shift an election. So now you got the Montgomery bus boycott. Now,
Well, let's stay on her for a minute. She was really important.
Very.
This right here was a crucial point in Black history. Well, color people history. You know what I'm saying? That well, if she would just say fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever y'all say. My feet hurt. I just don't feel like arguing right now. I'm gonna go ahead to the back.
Yeah.
Will we be advanced where we are now? See, it's a lot of key points in our history that if that didn't happen, we've been set back another 10 years. If certain things didn't happen along this journey, and when it happened, we've been set back, bro.
Yeah, I think with Rosa Parks,
that's a key inflection point.
That's the case of right place at the right time.
And then she was like, "Fuck no."
She's like
if she didn't do that, she was then like, "I'm just gonna go ahead and what y'all want me to say." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just tired. I don't feel like it. Even though she was tired, she was like, "Fuck you." I said in here, God damn it. And the fact she did that makes it for me and you and Shorty to sit here and cuss on live all around the world.
And like I say, what came out of it? You saw the power. You saw the power of the black dollar. You saw the power of black unity. You saw what happened. What can happen when black people stick together and say, "Fuck no, we're not gonna let you do this to one of our own." And they had to cave, and they had to fucking change their policies.
Exactly.
So you saw it was. I got to say, my main point in the beginning was you saw the power of black money. Black money. What changed that? Money what changed that.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have been able to change that if you didn't have black unity.
Go ahead, Shorty. You had something to say? Oh, my bad. You unmuted. Oh, you muted. But yeah, like you said, that's a real. Oh, I think you muted yourself.
Yeah,
that's a real inflection point right there, bro.
Yeah,
so
that was, you know what, I might add, that might should have been number one.
Did you unplug? You unmute yourself? What is?
I could have easily.
That's you. You muted yourself
because that
sure.
The Rosa Parks and the bus boycott is deep on a lot of levels. And
hell
it's
yeah.
not just one. It's not just
because
one level.
You seeing the black woman saying "fuck you." You seeing our culture right there. That's a black woman.
Yeah.
They're saying no, bro, my feet hurt. That sounds like a. Can't you picture that black woman saying, "Nigga, my feet hurt"? Fuck you talking about?
And because of what happened was at the time you bought shit in Montgomery to a standstill. People wasn't getting to work. People wasn't getting to work on time, and and they sacrificed a lot.
Hell yeah!
But in the end, it led to a lot.
So you got something to say before you go to number one? I think you move yourself though. I think.
Good number one.
Now, number one in my book is March on Washington. Now, everybody always, you're gonna go to the March on Washington and go to the speech. I Have a Dream, which is a hell of a speech. One of the greatest speeches of all time.
Let's believe it.
But you got to go. But as in the Montgomery bus boycott, you got to go deeper, because what you saw on the March on Washington, and what the March on Washington really was, it was really about the poor people's campaign. They was really marching on Washington for poor people. That was the poor people's campaign.
Oh yeah, jobs.
Yeah. Now, what you had then was how I'm gonna say it? I guess you had a coalition because you had white, you had black, you had Jewish people, you had all kind of people marched. Some people took the buses from all over the United States, from far as California, the Midwest. You had people that took the bus, took the train. Some people walked there. People slept out and outside, and you had so many people. You had thousands upon thousands of people that was dead. And what you had and what happened with that is that it showed, I would say, the government, it showed the people in charge, it showed the United States that whereas the Montgomery boycott showed the world and the United States the power of black unity and the power of black money. The March on Washington showed the power of a black voting bloc. Because without it, you would not have got the Voting Rights Act in 1965. When they could look out that window, and see all them people,
that wouldn't happen yet. No doubt about that.
That's enough people. Yeah, you saw enough people that came from. They didn't come from one. They didn't come from one part of the country. They came from all over the country.
That's good for you to point that out. Because think about that for a minute. Donald Trump ran for president, right?
Yeah.
He kept straining about his crowd, the crowd he had. We talking about a motherfucker that wasn't running for no offices. Mm-hmm. That's why we wanted people to understand that magnitude of Martin Luther King, bro. He was like, bro, anytime you can look at this picture. Trump wish he had that many people down there. Right. He would lie and tell you he had that many people, but he couldn't do that.
More people than Obama, which everybody knows was a lie.
My man did that, not running for a fucking thing. Just telling people, meet me here.
Meet me here because
think how powerful that is, bro. Like,
we're going to campaign for poor people. And
this
for poor
is
people
so
to get
crazy
jobs.
when people don't realize how powerful. That's why they shot him.
Yeah.
How powerful this person was, where he can gather. Don't run for president. Trump run for office where you can gather up people to follow you. You're talking about a person outside of politics saying, "Follow me."
Right.
And he got people to follow him, bro. Right. You can't. One thing about Martin Luther King, bro. He wasn't like
That's just like it.
He wasn't like the coolest nigga on the street. He wasn't getting the most pussy type nigga. But that nigga there in our history,
motherfucking pussy Martin
lady that he went to jail for us, young. He made out a master plan, a vision of the future, and he laid the work in. I love motherfuckers that see a vision and put work into that shit, bro. I love motherfuckers that do that. Black, white, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you tell me you about to do something, I see you 2 months later and it's done, I fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? I like that, bro.
That's why I chose the 5 that I kind of chose, because all of them show is an aspect of something that if we had in the black community today.
Oh man, it's no Martin Luther Kings.
Yeah, if we had something,
like it's nobody that can garner that many people in one spot like that.
The way they marched on motherfucking Washington for poor people and jobs. If we was to get together like that and march on Washington about guns and drugs in the community, something can be done about it.
And we're gonna run in the White House this time.
You know.
But go ahead, you got something to say, Shorty?
Yeah. They done it to all our leaders back then. All our leaders that had visions back then. Not just Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, the Black Panther leader, Huey, he was only 21 years old.
They did have visions, though. They did.
And they killed him. And everybody who had visions in our history, they eliminated.
Like right now, it's nobody with a vision for tomorrow. Like, for our culture, put it like that. Like, there's nobody out there just saying,
you know what?
Like right there, you had Muhammad Ali. You had I'm gonna step back because it was more to fight for than they fought most of our fights. Be honest with you. So it was
I'll
more.
say that.
It was more fighting than to be had.
I'll say this because you do have young people that you do have people out here that do speak up and they is about bettering our community.
My man went to jail,
But the problem
niggas ain't doing that these days, bro.
The problem is in my book is who do you listen to? And the people that got a voice, like last couple of days, your boy Killer Mike. I've been reading a lot of shit. I've been reading a lot of shit about Killer Mike, and they've been trashing the shit out of him. You know, like Killer Mike don't speak for the black community, and who the hell made Killer Mike the voice of the black community and stuff like that. But a lot of young people, they hear what he's saying, but they're not listening to what he's saying. So they don't know exactly what the fuck he's saying. And just think because he can put two words together that rhyme, that he black, that he all about the black community. That's when we have people like Candace Owens, what's the other skank? Omarosa, you know. You got people like that.
Not Omarosa.
Yeah, Omarosa.
Jeez.
You got people out here that, and even when we went in on Ice Cube.
Oh my God.
You got people, they got a platform, but they know that people hear them, they hear them talking, but they're not listening to what they're saying. So that's how you can pull the wool over motherfuckers' eyes, and the motherfucker, that motherfucker ain't like that motherfucker.
I just think that in this world, the world we're living in now, is that no one trusts anybody to even if somebody did be more political and stand up for the people, like Rabbit said, somebody's gonna find a way to trash them.
Yeah.
And then it's like then nobody don't know what to believe anymore. It's like right now no one knows what to believe anymore because you got this, and that, and no common sense in anything anybody do anymore. So it's like we fighting our own battles, fighting ourselves every single day. We wake up. We continuously fight ourselves every single day we wake up.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny though because the one person that you see going back and forth with Trump, and Trump can't get over on this person because he uses a platform to get people to vote and register. It's Taylor Swift. She stay going back and forth with MAGA motherfuckers and her people, and she tells her people to get out and register and vote.
Right. Yeah. First of all, that's the top 5 for number 1 soul, brother. That was nice. But
that's some funny shit.
Yeah, like what you was just saying though. You made it. Yeah, there's a lot going on right there. You got something to say, Shaw? Before we get out of here? Is he froze? I think he froze.
Yeah, because they're trying to trash her. MAGA Republicans are trying to trash her every day. Yeah. Every time she says something, it got to the point that they trash her, they trash Travis Kelce, they trash the Kansas City Chiefs, they trash the Swifties, they trash everything. They trash her parents, they trash everything. And she don't do nothing but say, look at what he's saying, listen to what he's saying, look at what he's doing, register and get out and vote. And her people get out and do it. Imagine in the black community if Beyonce did that.
She knew we doing that though.
She sometimes, but she don't do it to that extent. Imagine who's on.
And then again, it gotta be a candidate for her. It's just like you gotta realize Trump is just a person nobody like. They don't want to give a fuck who running against him. It's just that motherfucker shouldn't be president.
Like Taylor Swift would say, no, this motherfucker This motherfucker cannot be in office. These motherfuckers, you want to put conditions on the motherfucker, and instead of saying, hold the fuck up, if this mofo get in, this motherfucker just sit there and told you he's gonna one, he take your credit for Roe v. Wade being overturned. They're gonna tell you he's gonna ban abortion nationwide. He got Clarence Thomas in his pocket. He got all these other motherfuckers in his pocket. And like I told you earlier, they're going after affirmative action. And that means when they go after affirmative action, some of the things in the civil rights bill, they're gonna try to sneakily overturn that. So you gotta look and you gotta listen.
I appreciate motherfucking Evan Island for sliding through the podcast tonight for show. Give his perspective on Ward 7, you know what I'm saying? But if you're out there running for Ward 7, you can slide past anytime you want. We have no problem with that. You give your side, give your vision for Ward 7, no problem at all. Appreciate Shorty for sliding through the joint tonight, you know what I'm saying? That top 5, Tony top 5, you know what I'm saying? That Black History Month is still going on. We still got some more days left. Don't run us out of here too fast. You know what I'm saying? We still got some more days to talk about us. You know? But yeah, good points to top 5 right there for sure. You got something to say, we got Shorty?
Now, just continue this breast cancer awareness. Y'all see the sign, my background. Just remember.
Most definitely.
Third, show support.
For sure. One thing you gotta do is support a cancer awareness period. You know what I'm saying, dog? But you got something to say, guys?
Trash ass tennis shoes.
Oh fuck! I forgot. Oh wait.
Motherfucker want $500 for these trash.
Wait. I forgot. Now anybody don't know, Trump is now selling shoes too.
And they booed the shit out of him at sneaker con.
Second of all, if you backing a president that's selling shoes now, you gotta stop and rethink your priorities, bro. And who you supporting here? You know, it's like, what are you doing?
Look,
who are you paying attention to?
Because
what we doing now ain't making sense.
He got over $400 million in judgments. That motherfucker better sell something.
How you ain't got the money to produce that many shoes to pay that judgment? How you sold out in 3 hours? How many pair of shoes did you make?
He sold them for $399 though.
They only made
for $400. Exactly. You buying $400 pair of shoes like that?
The white people, the white Republicans that's buying them.
They gonna buy them off the break. Yeah.
Because he need the money, but they only made 1,000 pair, but they sold out, so he'll make another 1,000 pair. But you're only gonna see white people. You're gonna see white people, and I'm waiting to see a motherfucker.
I can't believe a pair
shit on
of shoes, bro. They're not Air Force Ones, but they just shoes.
They favor them.
They Trump Force Ones.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's not the name of them.
Yeah, that's the name of them.
Ah!
Yeah, they Trump Force something. Got a fucking T and the flag.
Hey, bro. No,
gold.
It's not the name of. Let me look at the name of them, bro. That's not the name of them, though. Can't be, bro. Not the tears out my eyes on that one. It can't be. That's the name of them, though.
Something like
it can't be Air Force. No, he cannot be doing that type shit.
Shit, I'm waiting to see.
I'm waiting to see.
They talking about the other day. They might see Joey Bosa might put some spikes on them motherfuckers and wear them joints this fall. If he do, I hope they kick his ass.
They out there to see the Trump tennis shoes, man.
I better not see no motherfucker walking down the motherfucking street with them motherfuckers on. I'm gonna stomp on their fucking feet.
Trump,
you know they gold with a big old T in the side.
The
gold T.
Most of the motherfuckers that vote for him already gonna be geeking for those joints. That's in his mind anyway. Thinking my voters, my people gonna love these just because they mine. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the end, it just shows he was selling motherfucking hot dogs when he started running the first time. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, hot dogs. He had some other dumbass shit.
Hot dogs.
Bottles of water. Remember that? He was selling all. He's a fool. Like, I'm not even surprised he's selling something.
You just got a motherfucking $80-something million judgment against you. Then you got
No, 350 million.
No. You got 380-something million for Jean, what's her name, for keep on defaming her. Now you got a motherfucker $355 million judgment against you. That's $400 and some million you got to pay. Motherfucker, you are not. Trump tell y'all he rich. Trump is not rich like that. And like motherfuckers say, he ain't got that much liquid cash. He got to sell shit.
Now we can just drop 350 and keep moving.
He ain't got no money. Yeah, he ain't got no motherfucking money like that. Because if he had money,
you got to put too much money up to even appeal it. You got to put up damn near half to appeal it.
His campaign.
That's why he didn't appeal the Jean case, because he just had to pay her. Because
he don't have to put it. His campaign is paying for is paying all his legal fees.
Yeah, he definitely gonna appeal it.
It's a percentage of every dollar that somebody sent him, a percentage goes to pay his legal fees.
No, they don't have no money in the Republican Party. Their fundraising has been like this. This is down a downfall. They got like $8 million and $8 million.
This is private donations going to him. You got motherfuckers that's
still not enough.
Yeah, no, but you still
got to run for president, bro. You still need money to run for president. You got to run ads. You got to do this. But there's no money for that. He's not fundraising.
You can unlimited money to a super PAC. Hey. He getting money, but he don't have the money. The money he getting, if he didn't have to pay all this legal shit, Trump could flood the radio and the TV with ads.
I can't wait to see somebody with these shoes on, bro.
Oh, yeah,
but 9 times out of 10, yeah, it's gonna be somebody in Africa with these joints on. Not even know. Africa we walk around with it. Every motherfucker. Matter of fact, I have hold before we leave. We about to step out of here. Before we leave, first of all, don't go to Florida. Florida tell you, the NAACP tell you don't even fuck with them. Okay. Before we go, do not go to Florida for no apparent reasons. NAACP said, don't do it.
Everything that's black Iran, they took out of Florida. Everything. Don't spend your money in Florida. Period.
That's wild shit, bro. But we do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, any other night. Spotify, Google Podcasts. Check us out. Facebook, Instagram, and whatever else. YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Dog? Twitch too. And check out Alan. Alan, you got something to say about Alan before we get out of here, Shorty?
No, just
Go ahead.
Just get out there and vote. Actually, when you see him, just get up and talk to him. Good guy.
Shouts out to everybody in Ward 7 running for office. If your heart is into it, I like you. If it's not, fuck you. DC, baby! Holler at y'all too. This is Hoodview Politics. Each and every Tuesday night, live. We might sneak in another night too. It might be Fridays or Saturdays. You never know. The race is heating up, and we don't like Trump. So catch us at any time. You know what I'm saying? Catch us.